What's the latest from this latest round of negotiations?
So essentially what we've heard is that they are confirming the news that we broke here at Bloomberg in the D.C. office this morning, that China had all of a sudden done an about-face on some of the details of the commitment of the trade deal that Mnuchin and Lighthizer thought were set in stone. All of a sudden the Chinese decided we want to renegotiate some of those terms, and that was something that caught the U.S. trade team by surprise. The president was not happy to hear that things that he thought were kind of set in stone. They were ready to move on to the next level of the trade negotiations, and all of a sudden China decided to change their mind on a few things, so he got a little bit upset and sent off those tweets, which were not a huge surprise to people inside the administration, as oftentimes the president's tweets can be. Mnuchin did say during a briefing to reporters that they are not looking to the markets to validate or invalidate anything that they are thinking to do. They just want a good deal. And the U.S. economy is strong enough to handle anything that comes at them, whether it's any kind of knock-on effects from the tariffs. But so far, we see that Chinese Vice Premier Liu He is still expected to come to D.C. this week.
So, look, it's probably going to be a long few days, especially for U.S. stocks. What can we expect next? How does this progress?
Yeah, well, what we heard from Mnuchin was that 90% of the deal was complete, and then they heard that the Chinese were backpedaling on some of their promises. We don't know exactly what's next. The meetings, as long as China's Liu He still wants to come to D.C., he should be leaving sometime in the next few hours to make it to D.C. in time. On Wednesday, Thursday, we expect some meetings and possibly an announcement of a meeting between the two presidents, President Trump and President Xi from China. But so far, Mnuchin said, Lighthizer said, and Trump has said that on Friday at 12:01 a.m. those tariffs will come into effect. And so stock markets will probably be watching to see if there will be any backtracking on that threat, or if Trump has decided he is going to follow through on that. So far, they're holding steady on that.
Right. What is the likelihood that that this now decision gets reversed?
Oh, in Washington, you just never know where we're going to be heading. With one tweet, Trump could decide, you know what, I've got a fabulous deal with China, and I've decided not to go through with the tariffs. But I do think one thing is very true, that this threat is not an empty one. The president is not afraid to follow through on his word this time.